This van's electrical has lithium batteries, shore power, alternator charging, 120 volt AC power, 12 volt DC power, an inverter, and a display so you can see what's happening. All to power lights, Starlink, a refrigerator, electrical heater, a hot water heater, and more. I'll show you everything needed to make this work and how it all fits together now. I made a few electrical videos prior to this on parts of this van build, like how to install alternator charging, shore power, and building and installing the electrical cabinet. You can check those videos out using the links on the screen. And in this video, I'll show you how it all comes together to make everything work. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. There are multiple pieces to a camper van electrical system, and typically two main parts: a lower voltage side, typically 12, 24, or 48 volts. This is the DC side, and a higher voltage side, which you can think of as kind of standard household voltage. This is typically 120 volts here in the US, and this is the AC side. Having both of these allows you to have batteries at a lower voltage and appliances that run off of them, but also have standard household appliances and things that run off of 120 volts as well. And that's what we have in this van, both a 12 volt system and 120 volt system. So let's get into it. First up, the 12 volt DC side. The components involved here are the links distributor, the batteries, the Orion DC to DC charger for alternator charging, the 12 volt breaker panel, and a fuse for our air conditioner. I designed the layout and mounted these components prior to the cabinet install, so they're here and ready to connect. Just a note, I made my own wiring rather than trying to order in pre-made lengths. This allows me to have the exact lengths needed. You can order wiring in bulk, cut, crimp, heat shrink, everything, so it maximizes space and looks as clean as it can. I have links in the description for all the tools and materials used, and this can save a bit of money as well over buying pre-made wiring. Okay, so first up is the Victron links distributor. This is really the starting point for 12 volt power distribution. Everything kind of comes in and goes out from here. You can see here how it's set up, and it's very compact. Allows all these connections and fuses in a very small footprint. So the positive bus bar running across the top, the negative bus bar running across the bottom and kind of behind. And then you can see I have a couple of fuses and connections already at this point in the build. The positive bus bar up top is live or energized, and the fuse connects that to my connection point below, which goes off to the different loads. The one at the first post is going to our 12 volt DC breaker, and the one in the fourth spot is connecting to the Orion for alternator charging. You can also see the end posts here on the right. These can be used to connect another links distributor if you need several more fuse spots, or what I did, since I only needed one more connection point, is use this for the air conditioner connection. The key here is there's no fuse spots on these end posts, so I connected my own standalone circuit breaker for the air conditioner. And then the batteries, which I'll talk about in a second, tie in through the left posts. I have a mega fuse and main shutoff switch for the positive, and the shunt for the negative. And the shunt is what measures the current flow, so you know your power usage. And very importantly also, the other cable running off is going to the chassis ground. So I found a place on the frame, sanded the paint off, and then attached the ground cable to it. And that's it for the links distributor. Now on to the batteries. These are Battle-Born Game Changer 3s, as you can see, 12 volt, 270 amp hours each. I wired these together in parallel, so the total voltage remains 12 volts, and we have 540 amps at 12 volts. Not a lot to say about these other than they're lithium. They can be mounted in any orientation, and they are heavy. They're about 80 pounds each. So when mounting these, they need to be secure. I attach these directly to the aluminum cabinet frame in several places, and then in turn the aluminum frame is attached to the van structure in several places. The other note on these is they are heated. So there's an internal heater and thermostat, and if the cells get below 35 degrees, the internal heater will kick on to keep them warm enough to accept a charge. Now moving on to alternator charging. This takes 12 volts from the battery or the alternator and passes it back into the system for consumption or to charge the batteries. So for that, we have the Orion XS here. As mentioned, this is connected through our links distributor. So if there's a large 12 volt load, it can go for that. And if not, it will just charge the batteries. And here's a link to my previous install video for that. The last thing to cover on the 12 volt side is the 12 volt circuit breaker panel. This is a Blue Sea Systems panel. Blue Sea is marine grade, so very good quality. A little on the expensive side, but built for the extreme temps and humidity that you could see in a van. At the end of the day, this is similar to any breaker panel. You run power to it, which we did from the Lynx distributor, and then you run wiring off of it to your 12-volt DC loads. For this van, that's the TV, the lights, the fan, the water pump, USB outlets, and we have a 12-volt fridge. And that's it for the DC side. Now on to the AC side. We'll start with shore power. I already made an install video of that. The link is here if you want to check that out. But once installed, it basically allows you to connect at home or at a campground to outside power and then brings that into the inverter for use. So here's what that looks like. Now we'll move on to the inverter. And really this is the biggest part of the AC system. Without this, you won't have much of an AC system at all. So this does a couple of things. Number one, takes outside AC power in through shore power and brings it in for use either for AC loads or to charge the batteries. Second thing it does when not on shore power is it takes DC power from the batteries and inverts it into AC for our standard household outlets and appliances. This means with the inverter on, you can run those 120 volt appliances whether you're connected to shore power or not. We installed a Victron Multi+ 2. First step was really just to build a spot for it on the end of our cabinet. The rest of our cabinet's framed in 1/4-inch Baltic birch, but because the inverter is heavy, we used a 1/2-inch birch on the cabinet end to mount it. So once we had it cut to size, sanded and painted, we added the mount that came with the inverter. That's the black piece here. And also measured and drilled where it would attach to our cabinet. And as mentioned, our cabinet frame is extruded aluminum, so these bolts will connect directly to that and be very secure. We then drilled pass-through holes for the wires and mounted it. And here's what that looks like with the inverter installed. Okay, so now in terms of hooking it up, there are essentially 5 things to connect or at least consider when doing this. So first is shore power. I mentioned this earlier. It basically comes in from the side of the van and connects into the inverter in the AC in section, section C in this diagram from the Victron install manual. Next is the AC out. This powers your AC breaker, so runs from the AC out 1, item B in the diagram, to your AC panel. This lets power pass through to power those AC components or delivers inverted AC power out of the inverter to the panel, and I'll show that panel in a minute. Okay, third is the DC connection. This is G and H. This connects the inverter to the DC system. For this van, we have it connected back into our Lynx distributor that I talked about, so the inverter can consume DC power or push back DC power to charge the batteries. Next is the ground connection. Very important. This is done right based on your system and your van. So this connects at point E in the inverter. And the last thing with the inverter connections, and are optional, are the communication connections. So I have 2 of them. One is called a smart dongle. It's a module that allows you to see inverter specs in the mobile app. And then the other is a connection that goes to the Serbo GX. So this enables the inverter data to be displayed on the Serbo touchscreen, which I'll show in a minute. And that's it for the inverter. The last component on the AC side is the AC panel itself. Not much to say here. This is a Blue Sea 8027 panel. Again, a marine component to ensure it can handle the temps and moisture and vibrations that you get in a van. This is fed from the inverter and then in turn powers the AC components in the van. And for this van, that's the electric heater, the Starlink, and the AC outlets. And the last thing to talk about, which doesn't fall into the AC or DC category, is the Serbo GX and the display that I mentioned earlier. So this is the central monitoring point for the electrical system and other systems. You can connect other things into it as well. So we connected into the Serbo the inverter, the alternator charger, the battery shunt, and our freshwater gauge. You can see here AC in, nothing now since we're not connected to shore power, but also the AC loads, the DC info, the ability to turn the inverter on and off and adjust some of the settings here. And on the right, the freshwater tank level. And you can connect multiple tank gauges here if you want. So if you have a gray water tank as well that you want to know the level of, you can tie that in as well. So really very nice to see, very nice to have rather, so you can see exactly what your system is doing and adjust it to some degree. And that's it for this video. A lot to walk through from the AC side to the DC side and how they interact, the multiple components at play, and all of the different things it powers. So let me know if you have questions. or comments, and check out some of the other videos on this van if you'd like, or our previous ProMaster build series with the links on the screen. And as always, thanks for watching.